Hey everybody, this is Jim. I want to give you a short video for this unit, which focuses on the trait approach. So we've just finished up your definition of leadership, and now we're going to move into a different approach or theory for each unit. So this first one focuses on the trait approach. We're going to begin by asking what is the trait approach, and I think in this slide presentation, I won't go over everything in here, but I always post the slides. That way you can have kind of an outline of the lesson, and you can see the things that you need to capture out of the chapter. But I won't, in my video, go over all of this. So this is an overview of what is in the slides and the kinds of things that you should get out of reading Nordhaus Chapter 1. So my own definition of leadership, since you've given yours, I'll throw mine into the ring as a little bit of a modification of Nordhaus. Defining leadership as a complex interpersonal and contextual process where the initiative, interaction, and influence of the leader, as well as the responses of the follower, result in the pursuit of desired purposes and goals. So I focus on the process, I focus on the fact that it's leaders and followers, and then together they work towards these goals. But now we come to 12 to 14 different theories and approaches for how they define not just leadership, but how they explain and define the way the leadership process works. When we come to this first one, trait approach, each of these we're going to put inside this Denham-Pierce model, where we look at the leader, the follower, the context, the process of leadership, and the outcomes. And your matrix that you fill out for each of these theories, you'll have some descriptions for each of these. In fact, here's a copy of the matrix, and so you can see for the trait approach, the leader, follower, context, process, and outcomes, you're going to be writing in some descriptions based upon what you have read and seen in the Nordhaus videos. And I have on Canvas, I have a sample video of how to do the matrix, as well as a sample matrix for these first three approaches. So, in terms of conceptualizing leadership, a lot of times what happens is it gets identified as either traits, people are born being leaders, or behaviors, what leaders do, or certain situations require a leader. So you'll see all of this in the 14 approaches and theories that we look at. So the trait approach, the key thing I want to emphasize, and you will agree, is it's the earliest approach to leadership. It is well studied, and the way it worked was researchers identified leaders, and then they studied those leaders for the personality characteristics they had, the traits they had, and then that became known as the traits that worked for leaders. So, for example, here's all these people that have studied it. Here as Stodgel, Mann, Stodgel again, Patrick and Long. When they studied different leaders and identified the characteristics, traits that made those leaders, here's the list that they came up with. As you can see, there's quite a bit. There's an historical perspective. I won't go over that. What is interesting to note is when you look back at all of these lists, if you boil it down, Nordhaus has noticed here's 5 key traits that leaders have: intelligence, self-confidence, determination, integrity, and sociability. So in your matrix, it's good to identify these 5 as key traits in the trait theory. What the trait theory argues is good leaders have those 5 traits. So the trait theory doesn't define leadership by what you do or your behaviors or your skills. It says leaders are born, and you've got to have these traits to make it work. Now, there's also research that shows that leadership is about personality, and here's the big 5-factor personality. Here's the big 5 personality factors: neuroticism, extroversion, openness, agreeableness, conscientiousness. Research shows that extroversion is the most strongly associated with leadership, and then conscientious is second. All this shows us is that there is some connection between personality and leadership. There are traits that are part of leadership. I mean, if you think about if you were going to hire a sports coach, UNL hires a women's softball coach or a men's football coach, and you think of the characteristics of those leaders, those coaches, no doubt traits enter into it. And so we all kind of think of some traits associated with leadership. The question is, must a leader have these traits? Is the trait theory right, that all 5 of these traits must be present in a leader? So as you're going through it, that's one of the things you're going to wrestle with. Strengths are also a part of traits, and there's some information on there, as well as emotional intelligence is a part of our personality and traits, and emotional intelligence is often associated with leadership as another trait, and you can read about that. So the question is, how does the trait approach work? And what's key is the trait approach focuses exclusively on the leader. So it has really nothing to do with followers. It says good leaders are those with traits who exhibit those traits and have these traits. And the very process of leadership is you use these traits to lead. And so the leader using their traits is what influences the followers. There's a lot of criticism of the trait approach today, a lot of it that I would agree with, and Nordhaus brings up some. But the trait approach is used quite a bit in human resources and in hiring because they run personality tests to make sure that you're a good fit for those positions. So the trait approach is also used to give us awareness of our own leadership style and our own personality. It has some strengths, and you can note those. It has some criticisms as well. There isn't a definitive list despite those 5. It's kind of subjective as to which ones fall in. So that, going back to your matrix, what you're going to fill out is identifying how does trait approach and leader work. It's the key traits of the leader. It's leader focus. Doesn't take into consideration the follower. And when you think about the context and the process, again, in certain contexts, certain traits work better. The process of influence is that leader using his traits or her traits to influence followers. And then what are the outcomes? All of these are covered in the Nordhaus book as well. So that gives you a summary of how the trait approach works. And I will post these slides on the screen. Once again, in your unit this week, you will have reading to do, you'll have a quiz, there'll be some discussion that you have where you can post your post on Friday and interact with other classmates by Sunday, and then it wraps up with a reflection. So if you always, if you have questions, feel free to email me or text me or Madeline, the TA, and hope you enjoy.